Yes.
Question for my neighbor. She wants to put in a rain barrel and then be able to connect that to either a leaking hose or a drip system or something like that. How much pressure is going to come out of there?
It all depends on how high you have it.
Okay.
The higher you have it, the more pressure you'll have. That's why when you go into towns, little towns, well, not so much now, but you know, you always see old movies where they have the rain thing, and it's way the heck gone up there in the tower. You can see that in a few places here at Camino still, in some communities. But it's just the higher the barrel, the more pressure you have. Yes?
I put a little water pump on mine.
You can do that, yeah.
I bought it at Harbor Freight for $25, and it pumps about 300 or 350 gallons an hour.
How many rain barrels do you have?
I have a 2,500 gallon barrel.
Wow, that is great. That is really good.
And it seems to work fine, and it does a soaker hose.
So how much do you end up, how often do you end up having to have that refilled during an average
I
season?
just installed it this year.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna find out.
Right.
Okay, that's great.
So I bought it on Craigslist.
There you go.
All right.
How big
And
is that?
It's 8 foot diameter and 8 foot tall.
I never thought about looking for something larger like that. And I would watch out for, I mean, you can be just so creative. I had somebody over in Whidbey who's been talking about this for quite a few years, who's a farmer who was a bit upset with me because I was cautioning some people about using it on their livestock. And we're talking about what you're using it for. Well, I've heard people tell me, sometimes I've given this demonstration at the Oak Harbor Thursday market, which is an evening market. They have a farmer's market, which is just excellent if you happen to be over in Oak Harbor on Thursday. Good food, good produce. It's a wonderful place to go. But I had people come up and tell me how they took like the old oil tank they had outside their house and cut it up and use that for rain barrel, and they use that for their horses and other livestock. I've heard people tell me about using their pesticide spray things for all that. And some of these people, especially the guy that wasn't happy with I telling people to think about that. He, you know, livestock are property. Treat them any way you want. So the way I think about that is whatever they're drinking is what you're going to be eating or drinking in the way of milk. So you might want to think, you know, it passes on through. But you do want to think about what kind of barrel you use and what you're using it for. Any other questions?
Do you have a
John?
Well, I was, am I correct that we get about 50 inches of rain yearly in this area, something like that?
Not that much, but,
Oh,
but Camino has a real diversity of rainfall. I mean,
yeah.
if you look at the bands of how
Oh.
much rain precipitation you get on the island,
Oh,
it really varies considerably. It's amazing how many
Okay.
microclimates
We
there
live
are.
in a converted zone on the south end,
Yeah.
so we get rain all the time.
Yeah.
It just fits in this.
Uh-huh.
The lady over here said she was going to put it under a deck. How are you going to get the water to go into the barrels from under the deck?
I don't know.
All you would have to do.
We haven't figured it out yet.
All you would have to
Because
do.
our drain,
Well, that wouldn't be that difficult. Let me see.
our
Well, I
drain
guess if I turn this
spouts are
back
all
on.
hooked up together and they go out.
It wouldn't be that
You could hire
difficult
an
because all you
engineer.
would need to do would be, okay, let's see.
There was one under the lattice.
I guess, yeah, the one under the lattice. Well, you don't have a deck that high, that wouldn't work. But if you had it laying down on something, you know, stood on something so it won't roll around, you could have the water coming into the, you can just cut a hole under the top and have the water coming into the top and then have a, I showed you the thing with the bung hole that was there, the piece. You could have one of those here as the runoff, and then the lower one, yeah, thank you. The lower one could have the hookup, the spigot right there. So that would
How
work
are you
just
going to do
fine.
your downspout into the barrel?
Yeah, any way that works. I mean, you could have it coming directly into the top. You could cut a hole there. Roxy?
Have you seen or do you have pictures of the
flexible plastic things that you can get at Lowe's.
Corrugated pipe.
Well, yeah, it's plastic, so
It's really got,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The stuff that's like this, but longer, kind of?
Oh, it's a
It's
down
rectangular.
Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah,
shape of a downspout.
I know what you
2 by
mean, yeah.
3 inches, but you pull on them and they flex out.
yeah,
And
I
you can
haven't
do
used any of
180
those.
degrees with those.
yeah. That might work in something like that. I can only bring so many.
yeah.
I just add to it little bit by little bit, and then I find I need 2 boxes to carry it all. It gets a little confusing after a while. But feel free to come on up and take a look at some of these and the way that they're hooked up. And the reason I have like brass up here and plastic down there is just an example of whatever works. I mean, a lot of things that you're doing hardware-wise, you know, you're gonna have brass with brass, you're gonna have stainless steel with stainless steel, you're gonna have this with this. On this sort of thing, mix and match, doesn't matter, just a rain barrel. So as long as you can keep the water in there, it doesn't leak out, have a way of getting it in the top, somewhere for it to overflow, way of getting it out the bottom, way of attaching it to another one if you want to, keep it elevated, that's all that matters. So you can be creative, save money that way, or you can go out and buy, that's not a bad deal. You can go out and buy one like that that's already put together.
Well, that's Skagitware.
No, that was,
Skagit PUD.
it's got a PUD, but, or, are they in Rivers?
I don't know where their office is.
I think they're on that road that's a frontage road going on up into Mount Vernon, isn't it?
Yeah, between Lowe's
Yeah, yeah.
and Lowe's and Mount Vernon,
Yeah.
the frontage road on the river.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I know I've seen them. They have kind of a 1960s modern looking building. Yeah, okay. That's it.
Do
Very
you have
good.
a card, Scott?
Pardon?
A card?
Probably do. In my wallet. But, yeah, and then if you want any other information or anything, my office is in the green building at the end of the parking lot down there where the county annex is. There's a real ugly looking green building. It used to be the old road shop across from the offices where you pay your taxes and stuff. And I'm right in there. You see a WSU extension sign in the window and a Shore Stewart sign, and that's where you can find me.
Yeah,
So,
Shore Stewart brochures that have our.
yeah, it has the address on there right now.
And,
And if you want to join, all you have to do is fill out simple little cards. Thank you very much, and feel free to come on up and ask me any questions. And thank you, Val, for